Alright, here is taking off the old shower, cutting out the drywall, getting the tub out of there. This all went fairly smoothly. It was actually pretty easy. This is attempt number 1 to fit the bathtub in. This was supposed to be a dry fit, and so we were going to take it out again. But you'll notice as we go on how many times we have to bring that tub in and take it out again. It was actually too wide, and so I had to cut the floor. I don't have video footage of cutting the floor, but there you can see now, it's cut. So we fit it in again and it fits, but it's wobbly, so we need to level it. So I tried to level it with some thin set mortar, and unfortunately still wobbly, so now we had to go with a mortar bed. Put down a layer of that, and now this is number 3, fourth time bringing it in. Now we're working, this is the last stage of the plumbing. We went through many iterations of it. As you can see there, it's still leaking. That's because I had the wrong fitting. I had to go back to Lowe's, get the right fitting, put it in there, and now it finally works after 5 hours. This is us putting the cement board in. Give a shout out to Jill here. She did so much of the work. I cannot believe she was right there along with me for most of it. This is cementing the seams in, and we had to wait for them to dry before we put in the Aquafresh. It's a waterproof paint, waterproof all the cement board. This is the next day now. We're starting to tile the shower. Starting one row up so that it doesn't, in case the tub isn't perfectly level with the wall, doesn't look weird. Now tiling the niche here was the hardest, one of the hardest parts of the whole process. All the little pieces and where to put them, and it did not end up perfect, but if you stand back, it doesn't look too bad. Bottom row, fill in that last piece, and now we've got the whole back wall done. So this was all in one day. We were able to start the left wall there on that Saturday afternoon. But as you'll see, we only got about halfway up before we decided to call it a day. And as you'll see, there's gaps in the back wall. That's because 4 of the tiles fell out. And the main reason was that we did not back butter those tiles. So putting thin set on the back of the tiles before you put them on is apparently a very important step. And we did it for most of them, but we had forgotten it for those 4, because when they fell off, they had no mortar on the back whatsoever. But we were able to get them in there again, back buttered and everything, and it was good. And we didn't have any more tiles fall off the rest of the time, which was very nice. So there we are, getting the next wall done, and now we're working on the last wall of it. We saved the easiest wall for last that didn't have any plumbing or niches or anything, which was kind of nice to be able to just finish up with an easy wall. Finishing up there on the bottom, and that's it. Now this is when we were grouting. Made this go pretty quick because it's not that interesting to watch, but Jill there did a lot of the grouting. This is the before, this is what it looked like when we first started, and this is the after. Big improvement. All right, now we're on to the rest of the bathroom, fixing the wall there. Now this is the pull out of the vanity, which was really floored in there. It was not easy to get out. we go, getting it out of there. We found an old coupon there underneath the vanity from 1987. Now this is ripping out the subfloor. I didn't want to deal with trying to get the linoleum off of the subfloor with the glue and everything, and so I figured it would be easier to cut it out. And it looks very easy, although it was not easy because it was screwed down rather than nailed down, and I couldn't get to the screws. And so not easy, but we got it out all cleaned up. There's some new wood here, which is interesting. Well, now we're moving on. I didn't record myself replacing the subfloor, but that's all the subfloor replaced and everything. Now we're putting the Dietra down, the waterproof membrane, uncoupling membrane. Measured it out, cut it, and now we're mortaring it in. And luckily, you can mortar this in and then immediately tile on top of it. So we were able to do that on the same day. But we did decide to lay out all the tile first. We weren't able to do this with the shower because of the vertical tiles, but this does make it so much easier to cut and lay out all the tile and put them in piles so that when we get to the mortar, we can just mortar and put it in and not worry about cutting. So that's us doing that. Now we're mortaring in the first pieces. And it went pretty smoothly. We probably should have started in a little bit different place because of the way the bathtub, that was where we had first started our layout. And so you'll maybe see a little bit, I had trouble getting it all to fit, but overall it worked out in the end. So there we are, getting the last pieces of tile in. Now we didn't do a great job of filming the rest of it. As you can see, we've already got the vanity and that in there. You'll see some pictures at the end. But this is getting the new flange, or the flange extender down, because the floor's a little bit higher now. Getting the toilet in there, getting that all installed. Now we're seeing if the vanity is level. It wasn't quite level, so we put a shim under there, got it leveled out, and then we brought, you barely see it there, but we brought the countertop in. We had forgotten to caulk around it to kind of seal it in there. So we bring it in the second time, get it in there, and that was all we filmed there. So now you can see this is kind of the progress pictures, adding one piece at a time. As you'll see here, we actually had to move the light up in order to get everything to fit. There's the mirror, splash and everything. So that is it. That is the last of everything, and I'm very happy with how it turned out.